Episode 4 of Sabak with the Misfits. Breaking down episode 5 of The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett. Gonna get everybody in here, we'll start chatting. What's up, everybody? Let's get Golden here, let's get Mando, and let's get Chris. What's up?
All right. In the house.
Alright, we're in here. Let's see if the fourth connects right away. I know that's been a problem. Come on, Chris.
That's why I tried to get in first.
Yeah, right? It's always a problem. I don't know why. What's up, everybody joining in?
What's going on, Dead Paul? Man, so much to talk about tonight.
Yes. I can't wait.
This is going to be a good one.
This last one was like so unexpectedly good.
Yeah.
Ah, Sith Girl's in here.
What's going on?
All right, Chris, where you at? So everybody's day going? Everybody's day going all right so far?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, mine was busy as hell. Almost didn't even make it. I was like,
Jeez.
rushing I had to get here.
Yeah, this is like a good respite for me. It's like, you work all day, you got your head in the game, but now we can talk about some stuff.
Yes.
Unwind a little bit.
Yes.
It's the best way to do it.
Yep.
Chris, see if you can join in or request to be in. Chris.
All right. What we got? We got Deadpool. We got Tattooed Troopers. Sith Girl. All right.
Tattoo, we got Gentleman of the Force. Got everybody in here.
All right. Nice.
All right. Chris is going to request to come in as soon as it starts working. For some reason, we always have the same problem with the fourth person joining. It doesn't matter who it is. It does not want to work. So, yeah. So, what'd you guys think? Just to start off, and then we'll get into it.
It's good. It's like, where do you start, right?
I know, right? There's
Right.
so much.
From the beginning, right? Because we can go crazy on this thing right now.
Yeah.
What's up, Tron Trooper? Yeah, no, for me, like, just the beginning scene with that curtain.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
there was so much build to hit.
Yeah.
Like, you knew it was going to be him. Like, day one,
Yeah.
like, it was going to be him. But just how they built it up to him coming through, and, like, the moment he walked through, just the color palette with that silver armor, like, I instantly forgot just how badass that looks.
Yeah.
It's like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme, right?
right.
Yeah. Sitting on the truck.
Exactly. Yeah, like, it was great. And God, his handling of that Dark Saber, a little messy, was still just, like, absolute brutal. Like, the Book of Boba Fett I've enjoyed. I know there's a lot of hate going on with the lack of intense action, but, like, I completely forgot, like, that The Mandalorian started off with his first episode with just cutting someone in half for season 1 of The Mando, and then this episode in Book of Boba Fett, he cut people in half. Like, that's the gold standard we're dealing with here. Like,
That's a great comparison. I mean, even uttering the same line, right? It's like a reintroduction to him.
right, and
Yes.
like, even the Puck, like, he was like, "This is you." He's like, "Oh, it's not me." I mean, that was literally the first episode of season 1. Like, oh,
Yeah,
and the lighting, like Ted
Right.
Trooper just said, the lighting in it is like perfect, just to reflect off the armor and make it look just amazing.
yeah,
That was
get
cool
used
to see, too.
Bubba's, like, matte armor, like, just it's painted. It's painted, like, it's a matte paint. And you don't really get a lot of glare. But his, like even the Dark Saber playing around with it, like, it glows. Like, it's just this awesome slick look.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into slick later with the vehicles, but, like, it's,
Oh.
woo!
Well, I'm trying to see where Chris is at, if he's able to get in. But we're going to go ahead and start it out. I'm going to send him one more invite, and then he'll request to join in. I haven't seen him pop up in here yet. So, yeah. So, all right. So, Chapter 5, the Book of the Mandalorian, or Boba Fett. Spoilers. So, if you have not seen the recent episode, leave it now, unless you want to get it spoiled. Because we will happily spoil every bit of it for you. This episode was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. Just give her everything to Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean,
give her a movie. Give her a movie.
She needs a movie.
Really?
She definitely needs a movie. I mean,
she needs a lot of things because, like, she is just owning this. Like, I don't think there's been a single episode she's done that I have not enjoyed.
I know.
Yeah.
So, I feel like they have to give her a movie at this point. Right. I mean, it's like kind of like a trial run, like smaller tasks.
Yeah, it almost feels like putting her through her paces a little bit, right? Like,
yeah.
If you can do that with this budget, imagine with a big budget. It's
seriously, yeah,
right. Fuck.
He's in. He made it. All right.
What the hell just happened?
For some reason, it's always the fourth person. The fourth person, it does not want them to join for some reason. So, all right. So we just introduced episode 5 and talked about Bryce Dallas Howard, how she's just needs the keys to any movie that she wants to do.
Yeah, give that bitch a fucking motherfucking movie, please.
Something.
She needs something for sure.
Her that round table they did at the creating of the Mandalorian or something like that, where she was talking about like her episodes. Like, it's not even just like what she's bringing to the movie. Like, she's got this like history of her that comes with it, and you can tell like she's one of those that like could have been like, you know, just part of the family trade type deal, but like she brings the full force of all of that experience, and you can tell like it's goddamn amazing.
Yeah,
she may be a novice filmmaker,
right?
But she comes from a history of film, right? A family of filmmakers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like it's in her blood. She's been around it since she was a child. So
she didn't but like you see how the story goes. With Bo-Katan, she was front and center in the Clone Wars and everything. And now that he's front and the front and center,
right?
It's his fucking thing to decide what to do. Like we saw that in Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah.
Well,
it's exciting.
I loved how, like you mentioned, Bo-Katan. I love how they elaborated on her history and her standing within the Mandalorian community. But we'll get there when we get there, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get through the opening scenes, and as we go through, we'll just kind of chime in extra on whatever we got. Right. So, opening scene is at a meat processing plant. We got halves of some kind of animal hanging everywhere, and you got all these guys chopping it up and carrying it. Then it flashes to the curtains, and there he is, and all of his glory is Mando Din Djarin. Comes through, and
aren't these guys the same species from the crime family on Tatooine, the Klatooinians?
Klatooinians, yep, exactly.
That's one thing I've loved that they've done with the Mando. So the Klatooinians, I can never pronounce their name right. They were part of like the Legends series. Like they had like a whole like tribal history and everything, and like for them to bring them back is just I love that they're bringing them back in from Legends, because they were such a cool like random out of nowhere species that popped up and like had this cool background in some of the old Legend novels. So to see them having like a big part in this, like they have their own crime family, and like obviously they're on a Halo ring, but they
Right,
have
yeah.
like cool stuff, like going on. Like it's just, I absolutely love it. They keep bringing these things from Legends into it. Like it's just great.
Yep.
Yep.
So Mando's walking around. Everyone's giving him like side eyes, and he's walking around like he owns the place. I mean, he's just in there, like
Right.
whatever. And mobs always have a front. So like obviously the meat processing is his front, just to keep the business in the back.
Right.
So he finally walks in the back, and you got the Quatunian goes, "You look lost," and he says, "I'm looking for Cabo Bays," and then he goes, "What makes you think he's here?" And he pulls out a tracking fob, and there it is, beep beep beep. You're the lucky winner. Pulls out his what you call it, and it's got his hologram
The
on
puck.
there.
Puck.
The puck,
Yeah.
and
Bounty
then
puck.
there you are, and yeah. So he's telling him he's there for the bounty, and he says to the other guys that you can leave. I'm just here for him, and he goes, "They're not going anywhere." So they start kicking ass and start coming after him. He's blocking everything with his Beskar, and whips out the Dark Saber. And I mean, just that sound of that igniting is the greatest thing. I mean, he's dragging it through on the concrete. Well, first the one guy latches onto his hand, bites down on his hand. But yeah, so he starts slicing everybody, cuts through half the animal that's there, and plus the other guy. Swings it around and skims his leg. And slices his leg open.
Brutal.
Yeah, and
I loved how during that fight, before they even established that he's inexperienced with it, and it's like the weight of it prevents him from really wielding it properly. You can actually see that in that fight without realizing it.
Right.
Like even when he goes to swing it, it drags on the floor first, and then it comes up. It's like it felt very awkward with him using it, even though, I mean, you can wield a bomb awkwardly and still blow up the place. So.
Exactly.
Right.
So it was still effective, but he wound up slicing himself in the process, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So he
Getting
starts
used to it.
knocking everybody else down, and then Kaba comes at him and starts shooting his gun off at him, and he throws him or stabs him, throws him on the table, and then just cuts straight through him. And then it pans out to all the other workers kind of looking through the curtains, and you hear the slice, and then you hear the saber go away, and he walks out with Kaba's head in a bag, and tells the others that he's not there for them. What is it?
I'm just shouting out people in the chat.
Oh, gotcha. He goes in there and says he has no problem with them. He told them that there are a bunch of credits on the table. They can help themselves. Just let them go. And they're kind of like not sure if they wanted to do that or not. But then obviously you got the one that starts the herd, and they all run in after it.
Money talk.
Yeah, exactly. So then it shows Mando limping away, obviously, from slicing his leg. I mean, I don't even know if he sliced it or if he just grazed it and it burned him. I mean, I'm not sure if it's a burn or an actual cut or what.
Yeah.
So he's limping away, and then it goes to title, Return of the Mandalorian. So, you guys have anything on that first scene or anything that you wanted to add to it?
Episode 1. I was Mandalorian.
Yeah, season 3, episode 1, The Mandalorian.
Right.
So, after the title, it goes to it flashes to a Halo type city. Looks like Ringo Vita Space Station from the Clone Wars. So kind of had that vibe to it.
One thing I noticed, and it's really really genius how they did the production design. It's not like a Halo like the Halo games. It actually had an opening which allowed for there to be different times of day throughout the ring. If you notice, as the ring rotates, the sunlight rotates with it, so it allows for a change in the
Right.
in the daylight hours, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
This
And they
weekend,
had that tram that was going back and forth too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and this weekend, what I was saying, we're gonna get a fucking actual trailer for fucking. I'm gonna go off track for a second, but we're gonna get a trailer for that. So it's just like, is this what it's gonna be? Or like I yell about it a lot. It's just like, can we get all of these like ILM and whoever the fuck is working on this on the same page? Like, because this is beautiful.
Yep.
It is.
We're here for it.
Right.
So he gets onto the Halo type city, and he's walking through the streets. Of course, he's limping, and he's got a bag with a head in it. He gets up to the elevator, and he gets in there with another guy. The guy kind of like looks down, like, oh, and then sees him looking at him, and kind of just does a quick take, straight look, like, I'm not paying attention to you, whatever. Gets to the floor that he needs, gets out of the elevator, and heads to the table where there is the employers that are looking for this bounty. He asks for the information that he's looking for. They're trying to figure out why he's so fast to leave. They want to ask him if he wants to stay for food. He's trying to find the closest access shaft to the substrata. So they keep telling him to stay and eat. He says, I'll take this bounty somewhere else. There are plenty of other people that will pay for it. So he starts to walk away, and of course they tell him. They say it's down Kolzak Alley by the heat vent towers. They're saying that they have another job. Stay. We have another job for you. He just takes credits and keeps walking.
Right.
Gets in the elevator again. Looks down. You can see the burn or the cut or whatever it is on his leg.
Speaking of elevators,
Mhm.
I saw someone post a pretty funny meme. I don't remember who, so if you're watching this, because I mean we're all Star Wars nerds, so it's probably someone. But it was when you get into an elevator at a con, and it had when the Mando was looking at that other dude that was in the elevator.
Yeah.
Just looking at
It's just a random person.
right.
Yeah.
Person at
Yep.
it. That's great.
We had a holiday Matsuri down here for Christmas, and it was in a hotel, and we were going to get food, and there were other people there that were at the hotel just staying, and
Right.
so we're in a Santa Vader, and we got other people, and then there's just a family in front of us with just regular clothes on, like just so they were out of place. In the
Right.
convention, it was just so funny, but
Like,
yeah,
you
you
need
get
to
those same
dressed
looks.
up, man.
You're in our world now, right?
So it was funny.
2017 Florida, they put me on stage, and I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? It's just like, I don't know, talk to somebody. And whole Sith outfit, and I'm like,
Yeah. They even had a thing at a local bar when I lived in Orlando. It was like a Star Wars night, and I wore my whole like Mando outfit and whatever, and walking through the parking lot, and people are just like giving you that double take, like, what the hell what's wrong with these people? But
what was this?
they don't know the way.
No, they
Yeah,
don't. Not at all.
It's their problem.
Yeah, exactly.
They need to go on a quest.
Right.
Yeah. So
One
I can bring you warm, or I can bring you cold.
one thing I wanted to add, what was also kind of brilliant about the beginning of that episode was that it felt like a continuation of the storytelling technique of The Mandalorian,
Right.
where for him to get anywhere, he has to first, it's like a video game. He has to complete like mini quests, right? So in order for him to get the directions on where he needs to go next, he needed to get this bounty.
yep.
It was the
Right.
format of the whole series, you know.
Right.
Every episode started with a mini quest in order to progress the
Yep.
main storyline.
Exactly.
So it was like we met him right in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tron, we're gonna get there.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
Give us a few minutes.
So
We're gonna
much
get
for
there.
that, Tron.
Snazzy,
Yeah, he's ahead.
Snazzy's repping Misfits down in Florida.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so he gets out in the main street. He turns on his scanner, sees like the directions on the wall, gets through the door. You see the Mythosaur logo on the wall, goes to the door, starts climbing down a ladder, slips, almost falls. I'm still trying to figure if I think sometimes they forget they have a jetpack. Like, if I'm starting to slip, like, push yourself away and just be like, okay, and then get down to the bottom. Like, he slipped and thought he was going to die.
Well, like, I've got a bad back, and like landing on a jetpack on the ground, like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna suck. Like,
Right?
God. Armor or not, like, that just blows.
Bouch Babe's in here. What's up? So yeah, he gets to the end of that, and then he starts walking up, and you see a person standing at the end of the walkway, and it's the armor. She's standing down there like she's in a side quest of a video game. I don't know if you guys play like Destiny or something. She's just standing down there, just waiting for somebody to come by. I don't know how long she stands there, but he falls down after limping and says, she says, tend to him, and it flashes or pans over, and it's Paz Vizsla. So he's still alive. Paz says to him, "I didn't think I would see you again," and Den thanks him for helping him out through the whole battle. Sprays him with some miracle spray. It's kind of like that spray they use in football where they're like pulling their jockstrap back and spraying their ass, like to get them back up and running. So
Ass spray.
yeah, so use that and he's healed. So Armor asks what kind of weapon caused such a wound, and he pulls out the Dark Saber, gives it to Paz. Paz brings it to her, and she holds it up. I mean, they're holding it up like, I mean, it's the holy grail, I mean, of Mandalore. So
right.
Yeah, even before that, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, it's just like, all right, he's got it. We knew fucking Paz is gonna fucking have something to say about this.
Right.
back to me.
I mean, his last name alone, right? He has the,
yep.
you know, he is a Vizsla as well.
Yeah, it's like he's gonna be like, that is my shit.
Right.
So she gets the saber and she's looking at it, and she goes, all this talk of the Empire, and they lasted 30 years. Mandalorians have existed for 10,000.
So, what a slap.
Yeah.
Just like an absolute undeserving slap.
Yep. So he says, she asks, like, what do you know of this? And he says, I'm told it's the Dark Saber. She says, whoever wields this, it leads Mandalore. She says it's won through battle, through creed.
Right.
It is said one warrior will defeat 20 and multitudes will fall before it. It will be a curse unto the nation if it's in the wrong hands. So,
I love absolutely everything with that, because that answers so many questions about Bo-Katan and I love that they put like a cursed spin on it. Like, it's almost like I said, a curse. Like, you know, because she was undeserving, Mandalore fell. Like, that is what they are associating the fall of Mandalore.
It's all her fault.
The whole thing went to shit. That was the fall of Mandalore 1.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep. So the Dark Saber was forged over 1,000 years ago by the Mandalore Ter Vizsla. He was around during the High Republic era and was the first Force-sensitive Mandalorian inducted into the Jedi Order as a child, and later became a Jedi Knight. He created the Dark Saber, which would become a symbol of leadership within House Vizsla. He was in flashbacks in Rebels. You could see a statue in Star Wars Force of Destiny. After she explains everything, Mando says that he has met a Jedi, and she responds, well, you have completed your quest, which was to get Grogu back to his own kind. Armor says you can join our covert as we rebuild. Paz sees the Dark Saber get passed back to him, to Mando Den, and he kind of gives like a, I don't know if you'd say like a sigh or kind of like a, that, I don't know, there was an uneasy feeling from that, seeing that happen.
You knew what was coming.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
So you see Paz ask Mando how he got the Dark Saber, and he responds from Moff Gideon, he beat him. Asked him if he killed him. He said no. He was turned over to Bo-Katan. He's going to be facing judgment. Armor says there's blood of millions on his hands. She also asks how he got his Beskar staff, and he tells her how he got that. And she states that the Beskar is meant for armor, not for weapons. So
God, that made me so mad.
yeah.
But it was a nice touch. It was a nice touch.
I love the staff though.
I love the staff, and like I get where she's coming from, because I mean that was a cool little piece that I don't think existed in Legends, and all the super nerds bigger than all of us can chew me out later for it, but I don't think that was ever a fact that like Beskar can pierce Beskar.
Right.
Which I absolutely love that they introduced that, because that's a whole realm of like, and that almost adds a spin. Like at some point, there's gonna be a Mandalorian against Mandalorian thing that goes on, and Beskar's gonna be made into weapon.
Oh yeah, good time.
Like that was great to throw that in there.
And it's like history repeating itself. Look at what happened, in the Clone Wars era with Maul and the Death Watch, and even the armor alludes to that. So she was part of that sect,
Right?
Because they were sent over to the moon. That's the only reason that they survived. What was the moon's name?
Concordia.
Yes, Concordia. Which she states too.
Which even
and let's
better, to tie it to Bubba. So his little chain code mentions Concordia on there.
Yeah.
So like, there's some parallels that are starting to be drawn.
Starting to emerge,
given everything. Yep.
Well, and before we get further, let's not forget that the armor confirmed that the lightsaber was made out of Beskar as well.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
You didn't know that.
Right.
And then for those that may think that this episode had nothing to do with Boba Fett, I think it had everything. Everything to do with Boba Fett.
Yeah.
You just needed it from Din's perspective.
Yeah.
His path needed to point out those clues. Now like you mentioned, like with the chain code, right? The Concordia.
Right.
We know about Bo-Katan's standing, right? And I know we're going to get into all of that, but it had everything to do with Boba and where he's going to go moving forward.
Right.
I think it was Concordia as the moon.
The moon, right.
I'm not sure about Concord Dawn, but I'm pretty sure it's Concordia. Not sure, though. But yeah. So...
Yeah, Concordia was the moon planet of Mandalore. I had to look that one up, too, because I know it was the moon or there was Concord Dawn, which is its own thing. But Concordia was Mandalore's moon.
The moon, yep. So Din asks if she knows of Bo-Katan. She once laid rule to Mandalore based purely on blood, and the saber was gifted to her, not won by creed. She states Bo-Katan was born a mighty house and lost sight of the way. Concordia is the moon Death Watch went to.
Yep.
So
Bo-Katan left Death Watch.
Yeah.
After that event, right? After Satine was killed, right?
Yeah. Right. He's talking
and
about
Bo-Katan
the code.
like
Okay, that's what he was saying. Was in the code
yeah.
that it was Concord Dawn. Gotcha.
Yeah. So Concord Dawn's what you see in Rebels. It's like half blown apart, and it's where I can't think of their names. The protectors are located.
I remember that. What's her nuts was her sister. Satine?
Right, Satine.
Oh, Satine. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So she was killed by Maul. Maul killed Pre-Vizsla, right? Yeah. And that's how Maul got the Dark Saber.
Right.
That's correct.
Yep. All right. So her rule ended in tragedy. They lost their way and we lost our world. Had her sect not been cloistered on the moon of Concordia, they would have not survived the Great Purge. And then it goes to a flashback of Terminator 2, Judgment Day. You got all the bombers rolling through.
That was
which
awesome.
was very cool.
was-
Seeing all the Viper droids and the security droids marching through there.
And just
And that-
kill shotting everyone. Like there was like
Yeah.
well, and on top, I loved the fact that they showed the Night of 1,000 Tears. Like
Mhm.
I've been wondering from day one, like what, like the moment they mentioned it, it was such an ominous, like evil
Right.
background thing, you know. But to see, like literally, like it was thousands of bombs being dropped on Mandalore that
Yeah.
just glassed it was,
Right.
just so goddamn amazing.
And that was their city, right? What is it, Sundari or something like that?
Right, yeah, because their world had been glassed before and made uninhabitable multiple times.
Right. And was it Moff Gideon there?
Moff Gideon
During
was
that.
involved in that, yeah.
I'm not sure if he was actually
Right.
there, but he was involved in it.
Right. Because I know he mentioned it in the when he was facing off against Mando, right?
Right.
Yeah.
On Navarro.
Yeah, he mentioned that he was there for, he witnessed or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So she says only those that walked away escaped. So then it cuts away from that, and she asks what he wants forged out of the spear, and he said for a foundling. She goes on to talk about how the Jedis can't attach themselves to people, so like he's already given it to Luke, so it's kind of like done and over with. He won't be able to like go back and see him because he can't attach himself. So then it goes and you see him, our armor, putting together chainmail and kind of just forging whatever she's forging.
Man, I don't know how I feel about the chainmail.
Yeah, I don't know.
But was it chainmail? Was it a
Right.
necklace? I don't know.
Who knows what it is? It could be a slave Leia outfit. Who knows? You know?
Yeah,
For
right. A
Grogu.
bikini.
Right.
What is that,
Grogu
the
bikini
Varmec or
off a
whatever?
whole new genre.
The Varmec that was walking through the streets with it on, like maybe
Right,
it's gonna
yeah.
be Grogu.
When I saw that, I was like, "What the hell?"
And it was just so like everything's just there, and then it pans in. It's like that just looks so out of place. I don't know what
Right.
that was, but
I want to know the director's like conversation on why this needs to
Yeah.
exist.
yeah, it's
That fashion is all the rage on Tatooine right
yeah.
now.
Right.
So I can't remember, but you know, there's the toy with Grogu where it came with the necklace of the Mythosaur, right?
Right.
He doesn't have a necklace, so maybe that's what he was making for him, or
Yeah.
maybe it was actually armor because it doesn't look big enough to be armor.
Right.
It's gotta
be
just
a
something that
little
you can-
thing, you know?
Yeah. So maybe it could be just a necklace. I don't know.
It could be
Maybe.
a Mudhorn signet type thing, because I mean,
Yeah.
that
That's
was
a-
like his tribe. Like they branded it. That's the tribe of two. So it may be him giving him some sort of Mudhorn, tribal thing.
Yeah.
Which would be
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
You're not gonna show us fucking what you call it? The little coin things.
The credits or what?
No, not the credits. Fucking
Best car.
The pucks.
What?
The ingots.
the circly thingies.
All right, we'll come back to that. Just keep thinking on it. So she wraps it up in like a cloth and ties it, and it looks like Grogu's head. I mean, it's got the ears and everything,
Yeah.
so that was kind of cool.
Before we go too far,
Yeah.
just the whole conversation about Bo-Katan
Mhm.
with Din, right? Like it showed they have no respect
Ingots.
for Bo-Katan,
Beskar ingots.
Right.
right? Like, and I think that's pointing to a greater conflict down the road.
Right.
I mean, there's only 3 of this sect left, right? So
Right.
it's only
Well, that's
her-
the whole season, end of season 2 was like Bo-Katan, like trying to prove her worth that, like, she's
Right.
worth it type of deal.
Right.
So I feel like there's going to be at some
Oh,
point,
there's
there's
gonna be
got to be some button of heads with Bo-Katan somehow.
right. So Bo-Katan may be on this quest to reclaim Mandalore, but she doesn't necessarily have the support of this other clan, of the Death Watch, because they obviously derive from the Death Watch.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where the whole horn thing on her helmet came from, right?
Right.
because Maul was in control of Death Watch for a little while,
Yeah.
Right.
right? After he
Right.
killed Vizsla.
Yeah.
Never know.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
still banking on not to get too crazy off of the Boba Fett, even though it's the Mando.
Go for it.
I'm still banking on the Mando. He's on my opinion. He's on that king's path to becoming Mandalore. He's got the slick all Beskar armor look, and I loved it when he had the spear because that was just like I don't know.
It was such a unique
stylish,
item.
Right.
Yeah, it
Well,
was
then,
like a
I was thinking he put
staple.
like a flag on it or something, and like some sort of banner. I don't know.
Yeah.
Shit. But yeah, I really think he's going through this king's journey where he's having all these quests, and he's the main character of the Mandalorians, and so I can see him being put up there as not wanting it. Like in the end, he didn't want the Dark Saber. He didn't really give a shit.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's getting there.
Well, as most leaders in mythology were portrayed, they never necessarily wanted to be rulers, but they were thrust into those positions.
Mhm.
Right.
Bearded Django, we're gonna get there.
Thing is just like, fuck, I want it.
Yep.
Yep.
So it flashes to the next scene where it's the armor training with Mando. She says that you're fighting against the blade, which we're talking with Tron was mentioning, that it keeps getting heavier. Yeah, because he's not fighting the enemy, he's fighting the blade. So kind of just needs
Well,
to trust the process of what the blade wants to do and focus on your enemy.
Well, they went over it pretty heavily in Rebels when Sabine wielded the blade because Kanan trained her. It came down to like almost the force connection between the saber and the person.
Yep.
And once they become one, they're able to just beast mode it, I guess.
Yeah.
But that also brings up a really interesting question because I mean, not that Moff Gideon was the best, lightsaber wielder. Because I felt like he was like hacking around like a baseball type of deal.
He seemed to be doing all right.
Right, and that's my point. So I'm wondering, like, if he had some sort of process to get there, or how he was able to just hack around it and din with it. But yeah, I think that we'll see some more of that. I've heard a lot of people speculate that Din's going to be a Jedi. I pray to God he doesn't. I like this.
Yeah,
Mandalorian. Like,
I feel like they
love
don't
the Jedi
need to add
Sith
that in
stuff,
there.
but I'm loving this non-linear Star Wars stuff that's going on. So I hope not.
And I think you hit it on the nose. I think that is what makes Din and the Mandalorian show so endearing, is that it's on a different path. These are characters you don't know, so you don't have expectations. Whereas with Boba Fett, everyone came in with expectations.
Right.
Everyone has read, Legends material. They have their own ideas in their head, which is why they're so critical of the Boba Fett episodes, which they have every right to be because it's a beloved character. But with Din, those expectations aren't there, so you just are along for the ride, and the ride is fun, so it's good. So I think that's what separates these two. So seeing Din come back, it just reminds you of that. It's like there were no expectations. You didn't know he was even coming back. So here he is. He's back
Got
again.
3 buckets in here. Let's have 3 buckets.
Hey.
So
yeah,
we're getting there, Chris.
yeah. Snazzy, we're getting there too. We're almost there. So as they're fighting, obviously, like we said, he was fighting the blade, not the enemy. She says that his mind's distracted, which, I mean, he's thinking about Grogu. He's thinking about all these other things. Then Paz is sitting over there and says, maybe the saber doesn't belong to you, or maybe it belongs to someone else. And
fuck yourself.
Paz challenges him. He says
that's in the deleted cuts,
right? Paz says it's been forged by my ancestors, and he wants to battle for it. So,
God, that was coming a mile away.
Yeah.
Like,
oh
my God, and I love the beef, and it's not even beef between Paz and Jin. Like, it's like a mutual respect, but like a one-upping almost. Because like Even
Yeah.
from day one, these guys were at each other's throats. I mean, just absolutely at each other's throats. And
Yeah.
it's like the moment he sees it, you can see he's starting to contemplate it, and then he's like, "Fuck it, I'm calling it." It's
Yep.
like, oh
Yeah.
my god!
It's almost like it was planned all along. It's like
Right.
from the first season. Why even name him Avinsla, right?
Yep.
If
Exactly.
there's not a bigger story waiting for him.
Yep.
As soon as that came up, I was just like, all right, well, this is going to be a thing with the Dark Saber at some point in this.
Right.
Yep.
Like,
So they do it
Yeah.
old battle style. They take the jetpacks off, and Mando pulls out and ignites the saber, and then he pulls out his vibroblade and shield. We get the shield. So
Yeah,
we get
the
to see
shield.
that live action. So that was pretty cool. I think I'm going to add that to my cosplay, my Mando, at some point for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So they start going at it. Paz starts beating the shit out of them. They start going at it, and then Din drops the Dark Saber, and then you see Paz pick it up, and it's like Thor's hammer. He's kind of just wheeling it around, trying to pick it up and actually fight with it, but he's just kind of scraping everything. So then Din comes back at him and starts whooping his ass again and starts doing little prison shanks on him, and he finally falls down and pulls vibroblade to his neck, and Armorer calls it off. And she asks Paz, "Have you ever taken off your helmet before?" And Paz says no. And she turns to Din, "Have you ever taken off your helmet?" And he kind of just sits there like,
That dirty bastard. He tried
Yeah.
to read it out.
Yeah. So he's sitting there waiting, and she says, "You got to say it." And he goes, "Yes, I have." And she says, "You are no longer a Mandalorian." And
That's it.
says,
Out of the
all
club.
of that, like he wins the Dark Saber, he proves he's king shit, and he's
Yep.
gonna rule it all. And then it's like, no,
"You're done.
not.
You're done. You're out of here."
Yep.
So he may only be
He should have took off Paz's helmet while he had him down.
right. Just rip it off and throw it.
Yeah,
So
He
he
just rips everyone's helmets off.
so he
like,
has to
what's up
fly
now?
and go
That's
get
it.
it with his helmet.
We're all even. Let's all go on this damn quest.
Right.
So,
Oh, God.
She states that he may only be redeemed in the living waters beneath the mines of Mandalore. And he responds, "The mines have been destroyed." And she replies, "This is the way." So
Good God. So
good luck, kind of. So, yeah. So he leaves out of there moping around, and cuts to a new scene to where he's taking public transportation.
When he turned in all this shit, I about died. Like
He's got
he
his
checked everything.
he's got his
You
bus
gotta
card.
take the MTA.
Yeah, so they got the what you call it, the Star Wars
The droid?
Yeah, the droid from Star Tours. There
Star
again.
Tours, yeah.
And he has to give up all of his weapons because you can't go on the taxi or the bus with
There ain't no
your
guns
guns.
in Star Wars. This
No.
just checks like bombs, lightsabers.
Apparently
knives,
now or
guns.
something.
They're like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Just put it in this box.
I mean, how genius was it, though, to have the droid from Star Tours be the
right.
guy on this mass transit kind of,
Yeah.
vehicle? Same
Right.
same concept as the rider.
Yep. So he gets on there and you see him dumping all of his stuff out. He's dumping out the whistling birds out of his gauntlet and putting everything in there, which was pretty cool to see. So he gets on the bus, and guess what? Just like every public transportation or plane or whatever, you got that annoying ass kid sitting in front of you.
Right.
So he looks up and there's a kid waving to him, and he kind of just ignores him. And it's a Rodian child.
I've got a whole new perspective on Rhodians after the Book of Boba Fett first episode.
Right.
Like, I just think all of them are these weaselly little shits that are going to
Yeah.
rat everyone
They're
out.
snitches.
Like, good God.
Yeah.
Like, I saw that kid, I was like, I just want to sit back down.
Rodians and the Jawas. They're both snitches, and they're probably just as annoying on public transportation.
God.
Yeah. Which we'll get back into Jawas here in a little bit too.
Yeah.
So he's just sitting in there like he's just an ordinary guy going to work, like on the bus, which was kind of funny. Pulls out the gift for Grogu. He's kind of looking at it. Yeah, he must live in New York, definitely.
Right.
He's from Brooklyn for sure. So they land on Mos Eisley. He gets all of his weapons back. I thought for sure that they were going to be lost in flight. I mean, of course that's going to happen.
That would have been crazy.
Yeah, the moment he's like, it better be there, I'm like, it's not, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I guarantee your ship's not going to be there. Someone's jacking it.
Yeah. So he gets them back, and we go and we see a BD unit,
Yes.
which was very exciting.
BD.
Hollywood. That must have went over so many people's heads.
That's BD1.
Yeah, at first I was looking for the red and stuff. I'm like, there's no way that's BD1, because I was gonna be like, okay, so who's gonna show up next? But
Yeah, and then he had a bad foot, just like BD1 when you first meet him.
yep.
No.
So you see that?
So for those that don't know, BD1 was Cal
Jedi
Kestis's sidekick in Fallen Order, right?
It's probably one of
There
the
may not
coolest
be a lot of
droids.
video gamers. Yeah, a lot. If you're not a video gamer,
Yeah.
He doesn't have the red stripes, and
Yeah, it's just a BD unit. I don't think it's Cal's.
yeah, I think it's like R2, R5, those kind of.
Which you see R5.
Right.
And you see.
And it's confirmed that's the actual R5.
Yep. Yep.
Right. Yeah.
So R5's back. You got Pelemoto and you got the pit droids. Ever since episode 1, I've loved the pit droids. I mean, they're just like the Jar Jar Binks of the droid world. They're yeah.
And I love how there's always 3 of them.
Yeah.
They're like the 3 Stooges, right?
Yeah. So the BD unit gets grabbed by a womp rat, and he's getting pulled around, and then you see Peli get grabbed by it, and it reminded me of Jurassic Park when the raptor grabs the guy and he's getting drug up and down the thing. Like, I was expecting that. So that was pretty funny. Mando shows up, pops the womp rat, and she crawls out.
Pathetic.
Yeah, she's like, oh, look, everybody, it's Mando. And it's kind of like you see R5, and then they kind of like perk up, like, oh my God, like that's the Mandalorian. Like, it's Din Djarin. Like, that's pretty fun to see.
So dumb.
Yeah. So Din asks where the Razor Crest is at, and his replacement for the Razor Crest.
Right.
And she turns around and says to the droids, fire up the grill. We don't want the womp rat to get gamey. So yeah, exactly. 3 buckets. She asks where Grogu's at, and she says they returned him back to his people. And she says you could have opened a petting zoo for him. So
I know she gets a lot of hate, just because people.
I like her.
She's
absolutely like her. She is such a goof to the point where it's the definition of Star Wars for me. Like, just this out of character person that is just beyond ridiculously funny, and it just fits.
Yeah.
And she is the most at-home character that you will run across in all of Star Wars.
No.
Like, she's not looking to do anything other than just, go about her daily business. She is living on. She even admits she never left the planet. Right?
She has
a gearhead.
She is so comfortable in her little Star Wars life.
Yeah.
It's the comedic relief of Star Wars.
Exactly.
Right.
You need that.
Yeah.
All of her one-liners. I mean, it's great. I mean, she came up with something that we'll get to here in a minute that I cracked up at. So she finally gets to show him what his ship is, and he pulls it back. And at first, when I first saw the first engine, I thought it was another pod racer. I'm like, okay, what are we going to do? We're going to put another pod racer in here, of course, Mos Eisley, whatever. So
Booty's coming up. I mean, come on. We gotta win.
Right. Get it ready for Booty.
Yeah.
So shows, and it's N1 Starfighter from episode 1. Chris, you got that toy I saw you flying around?
Yeah, where's your toy, Chris?
If you got the picture.
All right. So we'll get back to that.
There it is.
There it is.
There you go, all right.
You got it. So he asked, "Where's the Razor Crest at?" And he pretty much hates it and wants his money back. This is where she comes back with the one-liner. She responds with, "No skin off my dick swap or dip swap,"
Yeah.
which I'm
I
guessing
love it.
is what I first said, which was probably
Right.
it. But that's
Yeah.
what I got out of it. I was like, "Oh my god, that's amazing." So
Yeah,
we're
she's
getting all
great.
these. Yeah, right.
Right.
Crest.
Now we have two great curses for Star Wars. Right. We have
3.
Dip Swap and Dank Farrik.
Thank
Right.
They said
My,
something else. There's one more. I forget what it was. There was a third one. I forget what it was.
Here's the third one.
What is it?
My son's like 5, and he loves everything Star Wars, like just obsessive. This kid literally runs around and says "Dank Farrik" all the time,
And nobody knows what it
He'll,
means.
trip on, no, like he'll trip
Love
on
it.
like "Dank Farrik." And, like the first time he said it, I was like, "What did you say?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"Dank Farrik," and I'm like, "Where did that come from?" Like he's like, "Oh, the Mandalorian," you know? Like that's awesome.
And oh fuck God.
Like Bouch Babe said, we're gonna have what Chris is having. Pass it around.
Care Bass. No. Fuck you. Care Bass.
All right. So after the dip swap,
Yeah, the Dip Swap.
right.
Care Bass. Look it up right now.
we'll look it up here in a minute.
Yeah.
So she says, Mando, you showed up a lot sooner than I thought. So she's like taking all these parts off and kind of pulling stuff out. Opens up a thing and there's a nest of some alien bird there, and she kind of moves that out of the way. She's trying to brush everything off, make it look nice.
Right.
Pretty much tells him, like, give me a chance and you'll love it. So she's like,
Right.
help me out and we can get it done a lot faster. So the next scene, which was another comedic relief, was BD1, or no, not BD1, BD unit, holding the flashlight like a kid for his dad. It's like, no, higher, no, not there. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever got yelled at by your parents or your dad for holding the flashlight when he's working on a car or something. I mean, it could get brutal. So
another thing before we go even further, I heard, I forget who said it. I was looking at a couple things today. Somebody mentioned how it's nice to see how Din has totally reversed his stance on droids.
Mm-hmm.
When we first met him, he was so anti-droid, didn't want to get in the speeder with the droid. Any droid he saw, he was ready to blast him, based on his experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But now he's like, he's working with them, talking with them, cool with them, and that's nice to see the evolution in his character.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And also that goes with the put the fucking thing on.
I'm not very good at charades, Chris.
What? What?
I said I'm not very good at charades.
The fucking thing on the
Takes it up an octave. It makes more sense for sure.
Yeah.
We're just giving you shit, Chris. We love you. So she starts bringing in other parts. If you're looking, the BD unit's chasing a smaller womp rat around the garage or whatever you want to say. So that was pretty funny to see. She rolls out a Turbonic Venturi Assimilated?
Simulator, I think.
Simulator. It pretty much like a hot rod engine. So they're gonna put that in this thing. So says that she's getting all these parts from the Jawas. They can find anything. She once dated a Jawa, very hairy. So we know what's underneath the hood.
Did
there.
she say hairy or fuzzy?
Was it fuzzy? Very fuzzy.
I forget what she
Maybe it was
said.
fuzzy. But either way, I mean, it's definitely not what I thought was underneath that hood.
Yeah, right? I don't know what we thought, but we didn't think it was that.
Yeah, so all you Jawa like cosplayers, you're all fuzzy. So
yeah, you're all getting it wrong.
So, but yeah, so the Jawas can find any parts.
Thing.
Good.
So
Why do they gotta be fuzzy now?
yeah, it's just something. There's something to add in there.
Something to add. Now the cosplayers got to let it all grow out, before Megatron.
Just gonna sink under my chair right here, real quick. So,
yeah, I was like, oh god, all right.
Now they're hairy.
Right. What's next?
This is the thing now, dude. Like,
Spotchka and Death Sticks is what Chris is having. So,
Right.
hey,
Oh, good God.
so
Not-
Mando. Oh God, Mando says, "Can we get a list for parts to him?" And she calls him in and starts talking in Javanese and asks him for parts. And he says that he wants a bunch of aftermarket parts to soup up his car. I mean, honestly, I thought they were gonna like tie in the mods to see if the Vespa gang, see if they're gonna be there like hooking up the car or
Yeah,
something,
right.
painting
Hooking
some
them up.
flames or something
Right,
on there,
right.
you know.
No, they Fast and Furious that thing, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
They got
that'll be
the
episode
vinyls
6.
on the side.
You know, they got the turbo going. It's great.
So what did she say? Jawa trying to make a move. She says she's working right on me now. Oh, so the Jawa, after she's done talking, you can hear like the Jawa almost make a move on her. Like he said something in Jawanese, and she's like, "I'm working on me right now."
I love her character. It's just like so off the cuff, like out there. Like I just love it. Like
I mean, just the fact, just that imagery of her being with a Jawa is like, wow.
Yeah, I
That was so
I mean, she's got kind of the
disturbing.
crazy hair going too. So I mean,
Yeah.
who knows?
They must have both been picking hair out of their teeth. She actually does that, right? She actually goes like this, like she's picking hair out of her teeth. Oh man,
Yeah.
they're hairy all over, apparently.
Oh god.
So the pit droids are bringing all the parts. There's another comedic relief. So one finds the right part, and the other ones get pissed at him because he found the right part and they did it, and they're giving him the Italian hand, like, what's wrong with you? Oh my god, I love seeing anything with pit droids in it.
Right.
Oh, anybody got a lullaby? We got a lullaby we can get going?
Right.
For Chris? So, oh geez, let's read a bedtime story. So, they're souping up the fighter, the starfighter. They asked the BD unit where this part goes, and he scanned it just like you see in the game, and he shows them right where it goes, and that was pretty cool to see that in live action.
That whole scene with them hooking up the fighter was great. It was a great homage, nod to George Lucas's own passion for hot rods. And I mean, he started out with American Graffiti, and right, it's like that. He grew up in that culture and that hot rodding culture. So for them to kind of revisit that, that was great. It was nice, and it was just pleasant to watch, right? And even when they talked about the parts that they were adding, for like myself, I'm a gearhead, and it's almost like, they're making up these Star Wars names for them, but the way they're describing it sounds like real parts, like real things,
like there's
that you would.
functionality behind them.
Yep.
Right. It's like there was a thought process behind it, so it was a good scene.
Yeah. All right. You want to talk about like motors right now?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that fucking motherfucking N1 starfighter.
What we're talking about?
We've been on that.
We're on it.
We're on that.
Ooh. Ooh.
So, the Jawas come back and they got a cryogenic density combustion booster. Mando's asking him how they got it, and he stole it from a Pike spice runner. They just ripped it out of the speeder. So
same piece of hardware from the Death Star garbage
I
compactor,
saw
right?
that too. That was kind of
Yeah,
cool.
they're
to see
holding
the
up,
same
yeah.
piece.
That was fucking hilarious.
So it pans to morning, and they have a rooster alien that's giving their morning call. They're pulling out the starship. It's chrome with just a little bit of the yellow still on it, just pay homage to it. And he asks what happened to the droid port, like where you would have your droid sitting behind you. It's more of a dome, so I don't know if he's gonna go and pick Grogu up, and that's gonna be kind of his little sidecar
That's the rumble.
type deal.
That's the rumble seat.
Yeah,
That's Grogu's little rumble seat.
yeah. So maybe we'll see.
That was the first thing I thought too, because I mean it like
Nah.
it's not going to fit a droid like very clearly, and it's raised up like it's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's to me it looked very heavy, like it was meant for Grogu.
Yeah,
Mhm.
someone's got to be sitting in there. Like it's it's not left open for a droid.
They would have
'cause
put a glass on it if they were.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
unless they're gonna put the BD unit in there, and he's gonna be his new
BD
thing.
Right.
So, they're checking out the ship. You get your fresh paint and you get your fresh car, and he's checking it out and gets in and fires it up. And of course, it doesn't start right away. So you got the second try, and she says, "Do this and do that," and it fires up, and you get that rumble and almost that hot rod car. Starts up like a 1969 like muscle car, like a Camaro or a Mustang or something. You got that rumble.
Right.
So he starts taking off, and of course it's a little wobbly. I mean, he's trying to figure everything out. She says, "You need to open it up. Like it's not meant to go slow. It's gonna be chugging." So he kind of goes, "Okay," and hits the throttle, and that thing's gone. And it's not even gone like in the future. Like he gets it really going later on. But I mean, even when it's just kind of cruising, it's still fast as hell. So.
Right. I originally thought, all right, it's fast. Like we didn't even know how fast
it could be.
Yeah.
Right.
So he takes it for a spin and ends up in
Beggar's Canyon.
Right.
So he's going through where they're pod racing at, and that was cool. But I think he's going the opposite direction, because I remember when they come out of Beggar's Canyon, when they go sideways, then they get into the formations of the rock that are like kind of So I think he was going the opposite way.
You did get to see the ramp that Anakin went up.
Yep, that was cool. I love that whole scene. I mean, and then him just blasting through there. Then he's like, "Let's let it loose," and he cuts it up and goes into space. And of course, like with any hot rod, before that, he pulls up next to the space taxi again. And you got the little kid waving, and he kind of gives a nod this time. And
I was waiting for the middle finger.
Exactly.
Yeah, right? That would have been great.
So he gives a nod, and he shoots off. And of course, like any mod, he gets pulled over by the cops. And here they come. So if you don't know, the first pilot that shows up is actually the fill-in for Luke, the stand-in guy. So he actually was the fighter for that. And then the other guy is from, I forget what episode it was of Mandalorian, but he's the one that helped him get out of the, what was that, the spiders?
Ice cave.
Yeah,
the ice cave. And also the one that offered Cara Dune a job at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rip. So.
Yeah, rest in peace. Cara Dune.
Yeah, so they're chatting about all of his modifications to the speeder, how he's not supposed to. He's like, "Oh, well, this isn't, on there yet, and this is not registered, pretty much." So the other guy chimes in and says, "Hey, you have a familiar voice. You ever have a Razor Crest?" And he kind of just doesn't say anything. And he's like, "I have some questions for you," and then he's just gone. That thing is hauling ass. It's gone. So, they say should we report this? And he goes, do you feel like doing paperwork all day? And he's like, nope, typical cop work,
Yeah. He's the old cop. Yeah.
He's like, you didn't do anything, whatever. Right. He gets back and Pele asks, how was the ride? And he goes, the Wizard, or just Wizard. Drops the ship name just like that. Like I was expecting, like, what are you gonna name her, or what are you gonna name him? And nope, just how was the ride, Wizard? Like, okay,
right.
So
I thought that was I thought that was a little. I loved that it was a call out to the Phantom Menace, but I thought that was a little out of like character or
out of character. Yeah,
right. Even one of my kids, the older one, was like, that was just awkward. I was like, yeah, I guess I liked it. Like I said, I thought it was funny. I just thought it was out of place, but it was a cool call. I mean, that was cool to see them. Like I said, I love the nostalgia that they keep bringing into all this. It's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then Pele says an old friend stopped by, Fennec, and she jumps down. First, she was waiting outside, and somehow she got in. So she's like, "What's wrong with security?" And Fennec says, "You want a job?" and kind of throws him credits and says basically, if it's Boba Fett, it's on the house. So he just says he has to pay a visit to a friend first. In credits. That's it.
Yeah.
So, what an episode.
Oh my God.
We didn't see Boba at all, but wow, that was
honestly
great.
And like we were talking earlier, I wasn't even upset that we, like, as a Boba Fett fan, I'm obviously upset that I didn't have Boba Fett in it, but it didn't feel out of place to me. I know there's all sorts of, ass chapness of it not having Boba Fett in it, but honestly, I thought it was a fantastic lead-in. And I've thought from day one that this show was going to be a lead-in to the season 3 of The Mandalorian. I mean, that's kind of what they've kind of said it's going to be. So I'm game. But it was so just like, honestly, I think that was one of my favorite episodes of between the Book of Boba Fett and The Mandalorian. I mean, it was
definitely
so jam-packed of just awesomeness.
Yeah. And it's like I said earlier, I don't think even though Boba wasn't in it, I think it has everything to do with him, because at the end of the day, he is a Mandalorian as well. So, I mean, whether he wants to or not, whether he's aware of it or not, this conflict is going to involve him. He's going to become a part of the larger story. Whatever's happening with Bo-Katan and the remnants of the Death Watch and this struggle to reclaim Mandalore and bring it back to its former glory, he's going to be a part of it.
Yeah. I have a feeling that it's going to lead into, like you said, I mean, this is the Book of Boba, so they're just telling his story, and then I think they're all just going to merge together in The Mandalorian. I think it's going to be just all your bounty hunters all in there. I mean, we obviously have a name for Din now. I mean, in Mandalorian, I mean, you can say it's Boba, but I mean, he's not actually a Mandalorian, but I have a feeling that's going to tie into more of a bounty hunter show rather than just all about Din, or it's just going to be all them running together through Jabba's palace, and that's kind of just how they go through it. I mean,
and then with Din being kicked out from the Children of the Watch group, what's to say he doesn't start? I mean, Bo has her own family, like they have their own clan names and everything, and Vizsla family. I mean, so what's to stop Din from starting his own with Bubba and the other group? I mean, clearly Grogu can become a foundling, so why can't these other people become his own family? I mean, that's what Bubba's preaching. This whole first 4 episodes was very heavily focused on the tribe, their tribe, and forming a tribe. You need to have a tribe, you need to have a family, that kind of stuff. What better way than to include Bubba with that? Plus, I can't find my book, but the concept art for the season 1 of the Mandalorian, they had a picture that was Bubba holding Grogu with all these.
Oh, it was all Boba Fett. It was all Boba Fett in the concept art.
Right. Yeah. Well, he had Bubba holding him with all these other Mandalorians, and so to me, like, I can see that scene coming to fruition with Din there as well, like this family group of people, because. Even not to talk too long, but
no, you're good. We're good.
Even Grogu, like we never see. I mean, even like Kylo Ren and getting into the sequels and all that. I mean, either Grogu was one of the casualties at Luke's Jedi Temple, or he's elsewhere, and more than likely the elsewhere. So I'm game.
Yeah, there it is.
Exactly. That is devastating. I need to find my damn book. I'm so bad. I've been looking for it like all day. So I'm like, I need this. I can't find it anywhere. I don't know.
You got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's gonna be cool seeing that whole underworld. I mean, and like the next 2 episodes, I'm guessing that it's just gonna be more of them forming like a group to fight the Pikes, and then the last episode will be the war, and it may even actually roll over into the Mandalorian. So, I mean, it could just keep going on and on, especially if we get Crimson Dawn and we get, I mean, Kira. I mean, it's just gonna keep going.
So much.
Yeah. We need Cad Bane. I'm going to keep saying it every single episode. We need Cad Bane. I want to see a live action Cad Bane, and I want to see a back to tank. We're not going to get back to tank anymore, but we need to see a flashback of him getting that dent from Cad Bane, kind of like, you remember me, kind of type deal.
Well, isn't Filoni directing the next episode?
He is.
And Filoni loves to bring in his characters.
I have a feeling.
Man, I want one of the Western
Shroud.
scenes, like Bubba just sitting there, like on his throne, and Cad walking in and doing the whole the whole thing. Like, it just needs that Wild West Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Oh God, that would be just amazing.
Yeah.
Reed does his dent.
I mean, they're still trying to round out their crew, so he's you get a Cad Bane and a Fennec on your team, I'll take on the whole Pike Syndicate.
Tron earlier mentioned, he was pointing out that we've got Fennec, we've got Bubba, we've got Din, and Cranston, or Chrysanthemum, I can never pronounce his name. Like, that squad alone, good God. A war scene with those guys going ham is
just
going to be
running through everybody.
Bubba coming riding out on his Rancor, just tearing people in half. Like, oh my God.
And that's the other thing, too. We haven't seen him on the Rancor yet.
And he keeps talking about it. Like, one episode, he's like, I'm riding this thing. It's like,
I want to see Danny Trejo again. I want to see him. But I don't want to see Danny Trejo like we saw him when he brought the Rancor. I want to see Danny Trejo in the Return of the Jedi, stomach out, head cover on, headdress thing, everything, just sitting there with his staff. Gained a few pounds.
CGI the tattoo, so he's got like Rancor and Twilight.
Give him that big belly. But so I mean, and that's another thing.
Mouth is the belly button, like it's just like all this awesomeness in it,
But that's another thing too that they brought up with the old Rancor keeper was now that they showed that it kind of attaches to the person. It showed why he was so sad when it died, because I mean he was there when it was a baby all the way through, and it's like watching your kid die. I mean, it's sad as it sounds. I mean, that's your pet. So I can't wait for Boba to be strolling through the town on a Rancor. So it's gonna.
And like he said, his own 2 feet. But if he gets that Rancor, I mean, seeing him walk through the town on instead of the platform, just like not even like aggressive war stuff, just like a casual trot through the town on this thing.
Just a stroll.
Yeah, and like Snazzy says, as cool as Danny is, I mean, you never thought he was going to be a part of Star Wars. I mean, I never thought that's who was going to be rolling through. So let's see if Chris can get back in here. He woke up. There he is. Hey, welcome back.
Man. Fucking Christ, dude.
And you got a death stick, too.
Yeah, he's got a death stick, too. But yeah, so do we want to see what other bounty hunters do we want to see? Do we want to see, I mean, you don't want a boss because Cassandra and him are not going to get along.
Yeah.
All right. So what I see right now is fucking Cad Bane. He's outski because his race only goes for 70 years.
True.
So I don't see we're gonna him.
Yeah.
Boss.
Yeah, he could be old. I didn't think about that.
Boss is still alive. I can see that.
You think him and Kurt Sandner are going to get along, though, if they see each other?
Right.
Or is that going to be maybe a battle
It's
between
gonna
the two?
be a shootout for a minute. That's going to be like that episode, and then the next episode, they're just going to get along for the greater good.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Dengar just because of the Legends story with him. And
Yeah,
Boba. I know everyone shits on him, but I would love to see Dengar
Yeah.
more than just this little scarred up cameo. Like it would be kind of cool to see him pop up in there.
Yeah. Or even a little more deformed than he was when we last saw him, because doesn't the Rise of Skywalker
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
right mention that freaky looking guy was actually
the robot.
Dengar, the robot.
Right.
yeah.
It's like he kept modifying himself to the point where he wasn't even human anymore.
Right. He just had like this shriveled up face on this. It was the same like
Yeah.
armor. Like
Right?
It was very
I have
strange
that book
looking.
as well. Hey.
Yeah.
Right.
I never thought about that. Yeah, he's pretty much all robot now.
Right.
Maybe the Vespa
Maybe he was a
gang
casualty in the war.
yeah.
That'd
Maybe
be-
Vespa gang was the one that hooked him up with all of his parts.
Right.
The mods,
Claimed
right?
to be
Yeah.
a mod
Vanguard
addict.
all modded now.
Yeah, he's very creepy looking now though. Like that robot of
Yeah, he was
just-
creepy. He was really hold on. I gotta get this picture.
Chris, I'm loving that 180 you did. Like you came back a
Right.
whole new person.
Right.
I don't know what you
That's
shot
it.
yourself with, but
I had to find some shit real quick.
exactly. When they explained the rain car, I felt fully justified for crying in the Return of the Jedi. Of course, yeah. When I saw that, I was like, that makes so much more sense that he was actually emotionally attached to it by that, rather than just
Right.
being somebody that was hired to take care of this monster.
Yeah.
So it kind of bums me out with Cad Bane though, seeing that
Right.
he may be
But
too old.
when you think about it, it's only 6 years after, or 7 years now after Return of the Jedi.
5.
Look at the event from A New Hope to Return of the Jedi was about 4 years, right?
Mhm.
It felt like
So we're talking 11 years, and Cad Bane was active during the Clone Wars, which was 19 years. It all depends on how
Old he was
old he
beforehand.
was during the Clone Wars.
Right.
I think we could get an old Cad Bane.
Yeah, we need him in there for sure.
He'd be that
Get
John
some-
Wayne type
it'd be
character.
cool, but like it's just like he's at the end of his days. It would be
But like you said, depending on how old he is, I mean, if
Yeah.
it's in Clone Wars, if he was younger, like a teenager maybe or something, I don't know.
and
Well,
everyone,
they could push the numbers. He could get some sort of modification or some breathing tube that helps him.
He's
live
gonna show up
longer.
looking like
Like Dengar.
all roboted out.
Yeah.
I could have sworn he was in here. I can't find him, but I know he's in here.
I think it's a smaller photo.
Yeah.
Bottom or something.
as far as Cad Bane goes, like, I can see just being just like, you know what? I'm fucking done with this shit. Like, I'm over it. Like, this is just fucking stupid at this point. Like, I'm gonna retire, and he has enough credits to do it.
Yeah.
Let's just go to fucking nice ass planet, get himself a nice ass place, and just chill.
God, could you imagine
Yeah.
Cad Bane and them just rolled up on a moped? Like we're here. They're just that's reverse.
He's the leader of the.
Well, and then everybody will find the mopeds cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, that would be great.
Oh
Yeah,
my!
I don't know. Like I said, I do feel that these last 2 episodes, I really am hoping they're at least 45 minutes each.
They have to
and
be.
just
Yeah.
jam-packed. Like, oh,
If they put in another 38-minute in there, it's a waste. I mean, they need. I would personally shoot for an hour at least
Right.
of what.
Yeah.
you gotta think that they've been hyping this war. There's so much that needs to happen from then and there.
There he is.
Yeah,
Can you get a close up on that creepy ass face?
Right.
Have you ever seen Weird Science?
Shit, I'm looking through the book and he's on the freaking back cover.
Have you seen the movie Weird Science?
Yeah.
You know the creepy
Yeah.
dudes that are like that come in, and the ones that are on the motorcycle. He reminds me of that bald-headed guy from
Right.
Weird Science.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch was in the back cover the whole
The
time.
whole back of the book, and even flipping through that
Right.
thing.
God damn it.
Good
But
Yeah.
so, still hoping for Kira.
Right.
Hopefully, we'll get that Crimson
I-
Dawn.
If we do see Kira, I can imagine it'll be as a cliffhanger, like her
Yeah.
That'll
coming
be her
out at
own
the
series
end.
introduction or something.
Yeah, after
Yeah.
Boba defeated the Pikes and her being like Thanos, I guess I'll have to do it myself.
This is
You know?
Spotchka.
Right.
That's what the blue drink is.
I don't think we're gonna see Kira. Personally,
I hope we do. I love her character.
Yeah. So you saw the new comic cover for Crimson Dawn or Crimson Reign.
Right.
It's got
Yeah.
Chrysanthemum on it. So
Right.
what does that period tie into? Like, when was Crimson Reign?
Crimson. So the Crimson Reign series, it looks like started right after, right around Empire Strikes Back, because they had a comic that I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the War of the Bounty Hunters or the Boba Fett one or something like that. But yeah, essentially, like, they ended with Kira coming out as like the leader of Crimson Dawn and like all of this other stuff. And then they hinted that they're going to start the series. So I'm thinking it probably starts from like Empire Strikes Back on, which means she's had time to build a goddamn empire.
So, Sean,
the way they've been doing it. So
yeah,
yeah, I don't know, it'll be interesting.
It's gonna be good. Well, you guys
Right.
got anything else? I mean, this is a hell of an episode. We had a lot to talk about.
Right.
So
how far we got into it?
We did the whole thing.
Yeah. We've been going for an hour and 22 minutes.
Yeah. The dude, the X-wing fighter,
Yeah.
is the guy that was Luke Skywalker.
Yep. Yeah. And then
Which was nice that they gave him a
Right.
role where you can actually see his face.
See his face,
Right.
exactly.
Badass.
Yeah. So I'm excited for the next 2 weeks. I mean, it's going to be insane. At least I hope so. I mean, it's got to be.
It also shows that he's still on the payroll, so maybe a future
Right.
Luke appearance, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Do we really want Luke to come back again, though?
Do we need it?
You know what? It's funny you say that. I was talking to my son earlier, and like with Din saying that he's gonna go see a friend, I'm pretty sure he's not gonna show up in the next episode. It's gonna be the whole roundup, of the.
To be fucking Mandalorian.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Din doesn't come back at the last minute to help out in the battle and bring Luke and Grogu
Bring
along.
Luke. Like, oh, they're getting their ass kicked. We need a Jedi. They need to show
Right.
up and start slicing everybody.
I don't want Luke to be the savior of these series. Like every time he pops out, it's like,
Well,
it's Luke.
I don't know if you saw there was an interview with Tamora Morrison, and the interviewer asked like, "Hey, is there going to be like a Luke Skywalker type scene like in the Mando?" And Tamora Morrison was like, "Who? Like, this is the Book of Boba Fett. Like, why would there be anyone else in it? Like, it's the Book of Boba Fett." I was like,
Yeah.
That's awesome. I hope they don't. Like I said, I'm really liking this. I love the Jedi. I love all of that stuff. But I'm really wanting it to stick in line with its own story about Boba Fett, about the Mando. Like, I'm really liking this non-linear Jedi Sith Eternal War. Like, it's just grimy, like down and dirty type stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Right here.
that's what it's supposed to be.
Right.
I think that's what it's supposed to be. But
Yeah, I'd say so.
Brian Posehn lookalike. Who's that? Is that supposed to be me? Hey, she's talking Snazzy.
Brian Posehn.
Who's that? I'm not familiar with that name. But anyways, yes, the scene.
I'm gonna have to Google Brian Posehn now.
I'm
I
gonna
want to know what
the
he
same. We gotta see what he looks like.
Looks nothing like fucking. Shout out to Valkyrie. Thank you for chiming in.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Maybe a little.
I don't know if that's an insult or what, but okay. Huh.
Oh man, that's great.
All right. And we're moving on. So, yeah, so lots of good things to come. I'm still wondering,
Right.
the battle may not even happen. Like, I don't even know if it's
Right.
gonna, or if it's gonna be like a cliffhanger
Cliffhanger.
to Mandalorian and lead into the next, or, yeah.
We wanted this episode, like this kind of episode. We knew what was coming. I don't know why people are bitching about it, because we knew this crossover thing was coming.
Yeah.
It's all, yeah.
So why do you think our people are bitching about it? Like,
Because they want action all the time, and then they plan everything out in their head what they think's gonna happen, and then when it doesn't pan out, they get frustrated. They're
And I
expecting.
think we were saying that before the show, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Before we went live, it's like that's kind of the crutch with doing a show with established characters. You know,
Right.
people are going into them with expectations, and I hope that doesn't become the case with Andor, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan.
Right.
These are all established characters, and everybody's going to go in with certain expectations.
it's like,
Whereas when we were first introduced to Din, there were none. He was brand new. You know, whatever happens, happens, because nobody knows what his past was, and we were on the journey with him, and I think that's the difference. Where
this is only a chapter in Din's journey.
Mhm.
Like,
right,
what I'm looking at.
I recognize
Right,
him
so-
now that I saw the photo online. Snazzy. I looked him up. I know what you're talking about now.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, at least he's Star Wars canon.
yeah, right. Everybody is yeah, I think that they're gonna start biting their tongue now though, and that they're seeing that it's planning out into a bigger
Right.
picture. I mean, like we said in the past, it's the Book of Boba Fett. It's not the badassery of Boba Fett or the ass kicking of Boba. Like, he's not gonna go around just running gun and stuff. Yeah, there's times where he gets surrounded by people with shields and doesn't use a jetpack, but we just saw Din slip down a ladder in space and somehow forgot that he didn't have a jetpack. I mean, he could have fell and done that. I mean,
Right.
you're not going to see him running gun until the very end. And I mean,
Yeah.
you saw him kick ass in Mandalorian, yeah, but
Right.
he didn't fight against anybody. I mean, he did, but he didn't get his ass kicked by a Wookiee. He fought stormtroopers and he shot people from afar. He was in a
Right.
ship. I mean, he never
That's
got
what they're
hand-to-hand
there for.
combat. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, going into expecting that he's going to be able to fight a bunch of crime lords and stuff, and Chrysanthemum when he doesn't have his armor on. I mean, when he's injured, I mean, that's not going to happen. So it's coming now that he's fully healed. But I mean, he's actually fighting people now, and they're actually fighting back. Not so much stormtroopers just kind of running down and getting mowed down like every other time.
Right.
So
And I think you know, you have to look at it as a whole. You know, it's easy for us to dissect each episode, but you know, you're not going to get the real impact until the season has reached its climax, and you see the whole story that was being presented. You know, let's look at not judge it for its parts, judge it for, you know.
yeah, I can see kind of like the throne like scene where I know a lot of people don't like the sequels, but Rey and Kylo fighting, but you got Din and Boba back to back just blasting away and lighting everybody up. I mean, I can see that happening, and like them just being side by side, just lighting everybody up. I mean, it's coming. So just give it time.
And Robert Rodriguez likes to use that storytelling technique where it's just like one or two people against a whole army, you know, and you know, he did it to perfection in Desperado when the three mariachis rolled into town.
Yeah,
You know, as ridiculous as it was for them to have like missile launchers and shit in their guitar cases,
Yeah.
but but I mean, it was visually awesome. So I
Right.
can see him just getting maybe 2 or 3 more
Right.
people.
Well, and
You
then,
know, and it'll be like 4 or 5 people against a whole freaking army.
Yep.
then like
Robert Rodriguez is shit right now. Like, and I was just like, dude, like those are like a lot of my favorite movies. Like,
Right.
and I love that he's doing Star Wars.
Yep.
right. Well, you got to think too with Boba Fett, like he's this character that has become like almost an icon of Star Wars. Like there are so many costumes, so many people. I mean, it's gained so much traction over time as this badass character.
With
And
like
if
30-second screen time.
right, and if
Yeah,
people
right.
out there think that
Twenty-
these directors don't know that, like
Fucking,
they know it. So like it's going to be build up time until the last episode or 2,
Yeah.
and then it's just going to be unleashed havoc. Like
yeah,
he's not going to sit there on his throne, you know, smoking his cigar and waiting for things to end. Like
yeah.
that last episode, they're going to give us
Yeah.
Boba Fett in all of its wrappings.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be badass.
Yeah, and don't forget these things have budgets as well. It's still TV.
Right.
You know, they can't spend all of their money in the first episode,
Yep.
and
Right.
we've got a lot of good scenes, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna see them really bring out the big guns for the climax.
So Ben said, he said Black Crusade shouldn't have lost against the Power Rangers, though. So we don't even know who they are, really. I mean,
Right.
they could be these badass kids that have, I don't know, some martial arts background or, I mean, something. And there were multiple of them. I mean, just because they drive weird looking scooters, I mean, they could still be badass. I mean, they got droid parts and mechanical parts all over. I mean, she
Well, they
was
were
quick with
modified
her
for a
knives,
reason.
and then he's got the electric like whip thing. I mean, you got
Right.
4
And
people
they
in there.
And they didn't beat him.
No, they didn't beat him, but I mean, they
Right.
beat him down a little bit. But I mean, you got to think
Right.
he was bear hugging Boba and got shanked in the back, and then she
Right.
got punched across the room. So I mean, they really didn't beat him. I mean, they just slowed him down. And
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, when you whip somebody with an electric chain and he's holding on with one arm, I mean, so I think they're going to turn into be badass characters. I mean, I honestly
Right.
think that they're going to. And then Danny Trejo is going to come in and just save everything. You know, that's what's going to happen. Din Djarin and
Yeah.
Boba are just going to get trapped, and then you're going to see Danny Trejo run in with the Rancor and just save the day. Right, Chris?
Yeah.
With a machete in the ring for like
With a saber machete.
Yeah,
like
with a
a
saber machete.
He's just hacking people's heads off as he runs. Like, Danny will definitely, or he'll backstab Bubba. That's the whole grand
Yep.
scheme, and he'll take the throne with his Rancor. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Kursan, he said Kursan faced Obi-Wan at non-canon. Yeah, true, he did. But again, I mean, he also, like, didn't technically get beat. He was just kind of slowed down, and then it rolled over to where he fell into the Rancor trap. It's not like they kicked the shit out of him and tied him up or something. He still
And
whooped her.
actually, Ben, I think it is canon. Isn't it canon that it was in the comic books?
I
Yeah,
think
Vader.
I think it is. In fact,
No, that's which.
it's it's one of the Marvel ones. It's this
Yeah.
that one.
Right.
There you
So
go.
it is
Yeah.
everything that's that Marvel is putting out is considered canon.
Right. I have it somewhere in here.
But I definitely would like to see more of the Vespa gang and
I would
see what they actually have.
Yeah.
God, kill me.
Yeah, there it is.
There you go.
So
Yeah, I think the Vespa gang will be good. Honestly, I like them. It's a quirky Star Wars thing. I mean, they'll kick some ass.
No, it's not a quirky story. That's
watch them turn out to be some major
Oh.
badasses, and Chris is like,
Right.
I should
Yeah.
let that play
They
out.
power range themselves together. To, like,
They morph
become this
together.
giant- yes.
They like do their little
Yeah.
whatever Power Ranger call thing, and they like these mechanical dinosaurs roll in, and they just
If
They're
they
gonna,
do that,
they're gonna form a super Vespa.
super
Right.
fast.
Yeah,
Their
that
scooters,
actually
their
goes
scooters
fast,
merged together.
Their scooters on the skates on their wheels, like that's how they run. They just skate
That'd be
fast.
amazing. I would love to see that.
Right.
if they form, I'm done. I'm done.
Honestly,
And that,
just for all the salty tears out there, I would love to see it happen.
Yeah.
yeah, get
I
their
just
own
think
spin-off.
Well, like I said, them to like form and then like be a just destructive force. Like they save like here's how it's gonna go. Bubba's gonna get his bounty hunters. He's gonna leave the Vespa gang back at the palace. They're gonna go out there. They're gonna get their ass kicked, and then the Vespa gang's gonna form and be like, "We've got to protect them."
Yes.
And they're gonna roll in there and just win the day.
Oh,
With the
we gotta
Gamorrean guards on the back.
take fucking.
Right? They're riding it. That's what it is. They control it at that point.
But get little sidecars. Get little
Yeah, little
sidecars.
sidecars.
Cycle sidecars. Oh my god.
Idiots, dude.
Exactly. So Ben brought up the running away of Black Crusade. So he really just wanted to get to the cantina, is what it seems like that
Yeah.
happened, because that's exactly right where he went, apparently.
Yeah, he needed a drink.
But I still don't agree that they needed 3 angles to show us that he was running away. I just feel like that was a
I
waste.
still love just like the Napoleon Dynamite view of it, the
Yeah,
Just running down
the
the road.
Sasquatch view. Like every time, I'm just like, this is so like
It's
just
so
spot on.
corny.
Like, God.
Yeah.
yeah. He ran with purpose.
But he made up for it the next episode by ripping off the...
Yeah,
Oh, man. It's...
God. This
Yeah.
is too much. It's gonna be great. I can't wait for these next 2 episodes.
No, it's not
they're
gonna
gonna be just badass.
Chris has turned into one of the haters that we're going to have to drink salty tears from.
no, Chris,
Right,
I will.
don't turn to the dark side.
All of you.
right.
I'm already on Dark.
Do not speak this into existence.
Right.
Ted Trooper,
Hey,
why
we'll
not?
try not to, that Trooper.
We're going to write a letter to Filoni. He's going to put that in there just real quick.
Right.
Coming
Yeah.
soon to Disney Plus, Vespa Gang.
Yeah,
But it's going to have like their own like Power Ranger theme song, and it's going to, yeah, hell yeah. I'm here
Boss
for it.
Vespa strikes back.
Yes. They're going to like remote control cars and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, right, Snazzy. He is the dark side. Yep. All right, guys. Well, you got anything else? I mean, this has been fun. I could talk for hours. I mean, we're just
I
going
know,
off the
same here.
handle about anything, but it's do we have any news on anything dropping for toys or not? I guess we're gonna have a new Razor Crest type deal coming soon.
Now, apparently, fucking Hasbro re-up their shit for fucking on Star Wars, and they do have acquired fucking Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
right.
They also announced they're planning on upping prices too, which I mean, it's just day and age.
That's gonna happen. Yeah.
And then
Everything.
like,
Everything.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for this Razor Crest, man. Like I said, I got that.
bro, we're all waiting.
It's still in the
I
middle
know.
of the ocean on a container ship.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just like, God. They sent that tease of a goddamn notice saying to check your address. I'm just like,
All
I
right.
done checked, man. Like,
Was there any update on it, or we just
No,
that was it?
there's nothing. It's just like,
Oh,
check your address, and I'm like, I checked it,
fresh?
but nothing else.
What was it, Chris?
No, we're just like those
Just waiting.
got the Razor Quest.
The quest.
That's the bullshit.
So what if? Can you imagine if that barge sank with all
Oh,
those
man.
Razor Crests on it?
Oh my God! Like it would be a nightmare. Like the people that were ass chapped about the Rancor, like just that alone, like it would fucking fall.
It would be such an ecological disaster too. All that plastic in the ocean.
Oh my God! And then one day when I'm out here on the beach
Plastic.
and the keys and it just
Fuck.
washes up to my bottom short, I'm gonna be
It's in
selling
pristine
those.
condition still.
I'm gonna
like,
be selling those things for thousands of dollars. It's been sitting in the water. Like, hey, Mike, you remember this thing you ordered? Yep.
I'm giving them away for free.
Ben, the scene, think of the scene about. Oh, yeah, we just covered that. Yeah, it made no sense. I don't understand why they had 3 different angles on Chrysanthemum running away. Dark Star has Star Wars ears from Disney that he got for Christmas, but he is a punk. You're a punk, Chris.
Oh, you've been called
Grill
out,
him.
Chris.
What?
Where are your Disney ears?
There you go.
Either he's
Comes
getting
crashing back
or
into
he's
the
gone.
picture.
Yeah. There they are.
Perfect.
Ah, there you
Yeah,
go.
there it is. Nice.
Yeah, I officially have Disney ears.
Snazzy, screenshot it.
Yeah.
So that's it for toys that are coming out. I don't think there's anything else. I heard there was something that happened with Target or something with the new Boba Fett figure that came out. They screwed up the pricing or something.
They screwed up the pricing and didn't announce that it was a Target exclusive. And the Target exclusive went within like half a second and then came in
Yeah.
a bunch. Yeah, they shit the bed with that one too. I mean, this is becoming the norm with Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
I still, even when I go up to the mainland and I look at like Target or somewhere, I don't go off to the mainland like every 2 months, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go check out these stores. I'm gonna check out all the stuff they got. I don't ever buy like any of the figurines hardly ever. I mean, I got some stuff, but I do mainly like the bigger stuff. But they're always wiped out, or they have the same one from a year ago. I mean, it's like I don't know what they just can't. I mean, I know that the country's obviously having trouble with everything. They can't get people to work and stuff, but whatnot. But it's just nothing new is coming out, or they just can't stock their shelves.
I saw one of the most comedic posts. It was an old like Clone Wars like vintage collection type figure from like the 90s or when they were doing the old Tchaikovsky's Clone Wars figures.
Yeah.
It had been restocked locally at like a Target because they had found it and just put it on a shelf, and it was like selling for like $2.
They found a box in the back room.
My God!
Like all the other toys are hiding at, you know.
How do you
Like,
loot?
oh
They
my
have
God.
inventory unless it fell behind a shelf or something. I feel like you'd have inventory on that kind of stuff.
Right.
That's why I got a lot of my shit. Like I just go there. I'm just like, all right, what? Like here's the thing. What do you got? And they're like, oh yeah, we got it. And they're just like,
Yep.
I guess.
Same look I give when I walk in there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm digging the helmet release though that they're coming out with. I mean, we got Bo-Katan, but that's not going to come out for a year, if not more.
Yeah.
Still shooting for some more to come out though. I would still love to see a Sith Trooper. I know that they have like the First Order Captain Cardinal helmet and stuff, but I like the Sith Trooper helmet. There are a few other ones, but they need to start releasing some more helmets. They can start pumping them out.
Yeah, I could see them making an armor helmet. That would
Definitely,
be great.
that would be great. And
I know. I think they were rumoring that there was going to be. We had talked at one of the other episodes, a Clone Wars helmet.
I'm dangerous. I like this group of 4.
Yeah, no, I think that. I think the Clone Wars one I'm going to love the Clone Trooper.
Oh hell yeah!
One that I saw.
Yeah,
that will be.
Yeah.
I'm over that one. I need to get some. I've got
Right?
like a whole wall of clones. I'm going to need one of those phase ones.
yeah.
Yeah. Or a Rex, right? See, get a Rex out there.
So
Right.
Bausch Babe said she's going to be joining us one of these times, and she said she's actually going to do the interview without the helmet on, so it's going to be weird.
No way.
Right.
Yeah,
Then I can know who she is.
we're going to get a face reveal from Bausch Babe.
Ooh.
No, but give me all the helmets for sure. Like, I mean, there are so many different. So, I mean,
All right.
I'm trying to think of what ones. I mean, they need to re-release the Kylo Ren because people are just scalping that.
Yeah.
Right.
What are
Oh,
some other?
Snazzy said Dark Trooper, and I would love a Dark Trooper helmet.
Yeah,
And a
Dark
Death
Trooper would be
Trooper.
sick.
A
Oh, the
Death
Death
Trooper
Trooper.
that's actually like looks like a Death Trooper.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm here for it. As far as any other releases and stuff, I haven't heard of anything else. I mean, just it's pretty much it. It's pretty stagnant right now. But
Yeah, I think we'll get a wave of merchandise once we are further into the year. We have, I mean, I can guarantee a bunch of shit is gonna come out for Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
yeah.
I mean, the freaking Naboo Starfighter alone, you know that's.
Oh, they're
be-
gonna really, really say, yeah, that's gonna be the next Razor Crest. It's gonna sit offshore for a year.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
that thing is gonna be.
it's only a matter of time.
Yep.
Right.
You guys got anything else? Anything else you wanna?
We
I'm at yellow. Plum dangerous.
Yeah, nice one.
But yeah, so
bring some news up, but like I really don't care at this point.
Can't blame you.
all right, so we'll come back next week with the next episode of Book of Boba Fett and see if there's actually a war, if it's going to be more of just a side quest.
Right.
But I definitely think it's going to be more of drafting more people for the war. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I don't expect anything big for the next episode.
Yeah.
Right.
They're gonna save everything for the last.
It is going to be the penultimate episode.
Yeah.
If we go track what record of what you call it, Game of Thrones, they do their big episode before the
And they ruined it with the last one.
right.
I hope that doesn't happen with this.
Yeah, I don't think. I hope not.
But all right, so we'll
That's
be
fun.
back next week, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got Golden Trooper, follow him on Instagram. We got Dark Star, and we got Mando who reads. And we'll be back here again next week, and we'll download this onto Apple Podcasts as well, so you can hear it on the road or wherever you're at, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And also YouTube, if you can drop a follow on any of those, it's sabak_with_the_misfits. And once we get a little bit more people on there, we'll start going live from there. I've been trying to upload the videos, and it's not going on there for some reason. I don't understand why. Still trying to figure it out. We'll get it. But until next week, we'll see you later. Have a great night, everybody.
All right.
Appreciate it.
See ya.